this is the Cinch Slouch Crochet Original handbag design that I'm sharing the pattern for. And it's a full-length pattern, and basically what you're going to see is me starting at the end of working the base of the bag. And to work the base of the bag, you're going to use a weight for yarn, any color of your choosing, a 4mm crochet hook, and you're going to start by chaining 21 and then working in row 1 half double crochets, so 20 half double crochets, and then continuing that for 32 rows. Once you have your bottom base done, it kind of looks like a rectangle. You can see how beautiful it is. Here we go. Then you can decide which one you want, inside or outside of the bag. It's pretty similar, but I'll just keep it like this. Now, once you've reached this part, don't tie off, just continue crocheting. What you're gonna do now is every time you're in a corner, you have 4 corners. Every time you're in a corner, you're gonna work 3 half double crochets to work around that corner, and then all half double crochets in every stitch. Sometimes on one of the ends, it's a little bit harder to find the stitches. Just gonna make it as you go. Doesn't have to be perfect. Basically, only thing you really need to remember here is doing 3 in every corner. And when you get back, before you start every row, you also chain 1, and then when you end every row, you slip stitch into that first chain. And sometimes what can help is when you're ready to start, make sure I chained, yep. So I'm gonna start with a chain 1, boop, and then as I start, I am going to work 3 half double crochets into that corner, so just like this. We go 1, oop, 2, and 3. Sometimes it gets a little, 1, 2, and 3. And that's what you're going to do in the corner. And now we're just going to continue with 1 half double crochet all the way down. And whenever, as a note, whenever I refer to the long and short end, I hope you guys understand that this is, of course, is the long end and these are the short ends, but I point that out. And then now just continue on the long end, 1 half double crochet in every stitch. It can sometimes be hard to like see the stitches, but as long as you're making it, you should be, it's really hard, I feel like, to mess this project up. It's pretty beginner friendly, safe, and also great for immediate crocheters, because all you're doing is the same half double crochet stitch all the way around. All right, then when I get back to this corner, I'm gonna work 3, then again, work half double crochet, then work 3, and then half double crochet, work 3, half double crochet, and then slip stitch into that first chain. What might be helpful too is adding a stitch marker in that first chain one, so you know where to slip stitch into before you start your chain 1 to the next row. And then you'll continue this for as many rows the pattern calls for, and I'll be very back to show you what the end of round 1 looks like. Okay, so I have fully worked around, and I just have a few stitches left to show what this looks like with working 3 in each corner. And then now continues, add a couple more stitches in, and 1 more, or is that the half? Yep, 1 more. And then, can you see this? I'm slip stitching into the first chain 1, and then you chain 1, and you can mark that, and you just continue working half double crochet all the way around. I believe you do that for 9 more rows, so 10 rows total. And then I will come back soon to show you what it looks like when you're done with all the rows. And once you're done, you're now going to work 2 decreases along each side of the bag. So for a total of 8 decreases, 2 on the short, 2 on each long side. And when you're done, I will come back and show you what that looks like. But yeah, so you'll just continue with half double crochet. And while doing the half double crochet, you can just add the decreases anywhere, and it's a half double crochet decrease or together. So basically how I do that is when I half double crochet, I then pull through and then take it out, then put it in again and pull through, then pull through three, and then pull through the last three. That's how I achieve this. So here I go. And that's how I work all my decreases for this part of the bag and for all the decreases. And then you're only working two decreases on each side for this first row. And then when I come back here next, you're going to do a decrease, but in particular areas of the bag that I will show. And then this is what it looks like once you have worked all the rows needed. I believe it's 10 rows after you do the bottom. And then now starting the next part is the shaping of the bag. So here I'm showing the long and the short ends. On the long ends, you're going to particularly put decreases. You're going to have 3 on each of the long ends and none on the short. And you're going to do on the long end near the corner of one end, the corner of another, then right in the center, because we're kind of helping shape it inward. Row 45, you're doing the half double crochets around, and on the short sides there's no decreases. On the long side, each make 3 decreases, one near each edge and one near the center. Row 46, you're repeating row 45, so it's only for 2 rows you're doing this. Then row 47, you're crocheting around evenly. Once you get to row 48, you're going to make 1 decrease, but only in the center of the long side for 2 rows. And then once you get to row 51, you're crocheting evenly around the bag and continue until row 55 with regular half double crochets, and then the purse body will be complete. So once you are done with all those rows, this is now the cinching part. And here I'm showing you how to do it using stitch markers. You just fold the fabric inward and make a little like inward V, and then make the mark at about, I don't know, an inch or half an inch, enough that's gonna fit a base around of about 11 half double crochets to work. I'm just kind of eyeballing it and see how it goes, but you can see how it cinches in. And this is where we're going to start the handles that we're going to work. And I'm going to show you how to attach it using slip stitches. It's a little bit closer in of how I attached with the with the stitch marker, and how it looks with the bag. See how it's kind of like draped in, just so you know how to fold it a little bit easier. And then yeah, now we're just going to work on this end. And you're going to be attaching, don't fasten off yet because I'm still fastened on, so I have the stitch marker here. And now we're going to be continuing through slip stitching everything together. And how I do that is I insert my crochet hook in, pull through, and then eventually I pull through them all, and I just work up and down the row until everything is closed. Just making sure that we're working up to where the stitch marker is then going to be closed. So you're only doing it so there's enough for like a handle. And then once you're done with this, you're going to make the base that I will show you soon. And that'll be done by, once you're done slip stitching everything together, you're going to chain 1 and then begin creating your half double crochets around the base to start your one side of the handle. So you can kind of watch me do that here. I'm now inserting my hook and slip stitching it together. It can be a little tricky, so it's okay at this part if you're not really sure, as long as everything gets closed in. Sometimes you can start with 2 sides and then increase it to other and then put it all together. Sometimes a little bit difficult and thicker, so working it around first and then slip stitching everything together also works. You can also sew it together. You can also make the bag the way you want also. If you want to make an altercation, like this is your time to do it. If you want to do a different kind of handle, shorter handle, longer handle, up to you. So, but this is just how I do it and how the pattern calls for. And if it's a little confusing as I'm walking through majority of this pattern, it would help to get this pattern on Etsy at getcraftywithjackie.etsy.com. You can watch alongside with the pattern itself. But here I am, I'm almost done, kind of coming together and slip stitching everything together. And I will talk through soon. I'm going to show you how I make the handle. So now I'm starting the base, which will be 11 half double crochets you'll make in that kind of circle around. It can be a little difficult to know like exactly where to put it in, so it's okay to put it anywhere as long as there's like a thick base to hold the half double crochet. You kind of just like make it wherever the spot is, make it on your own. But as long as your base has 11 half double crochets that are attached to the cinched area, then you're doing great. And then once you get back to the first half double crochet, you're going to slip stitch into that. So it could help to put a stitch marker there. I just kind of can see it, but if you're a little bit more beginner, where you make your first half double crochet would help seeing it with a stitch marker. And I'm just continuing working around until I get to 11 half double crochets. And then once you attach the base at the very end, you're then going to work up for 19 rows, maintaining the 11 half double crochets for the handle. And once you get to the 19th row, you're then going to start decreases up to row 24. So only decrease once in each place up to row 24. And after that, you should have 7 stitches and around to work into. So if you go from 11 to 7 with those decreases, and then in row 25, you're just going to be putting 1 half double crochet around each side. And then you will fasten off. And I'm going to show you what that looks like and working the second handle as well. The second handle, you're just going to repeat the same way you got started, but you're tying on. Continuing the slip stitching together for this other side of the cinch, making sure it looks even. And then once you do that, you work the base of 11 half double crochets, except the amount of rows you do is going to be shorter. So for 9 rows, you're going to half double crochet around. And then for rows 10 to 13, you're making 1 decrease in each row. Then row 14 is where you bring each handle together by matching the small sides together and working out to in and slip stitching the handle. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. I'm going to come back soon when both handles are done being worked up to show you how to attach it and slip stitch it together by inserting your crochet hook on the outside and then inside and slip stitching it together. Okay, our 2 handles are now made, and this is the fun part, we attach it. So this can be a little tricky, but basically what you're going to do is just make sure you match each end together, don't fasten off, and how you're going to do this is by inserting your crochet hook into the other handle end. I'm going to kind of zoom in here so you can really see what I'm doing. You're going to insert it into that opposite handle and make the first stitch slip stitch. So here I go, kind of matching it up to make sure the handle's not twisted, make sure everything looks good. Got my string. Okay, so then insert inside, grab the yarn, and then you're gonna pull through. Oh, wait a minute. It's gonna be hard to pull through and then pull through to slip stitch it together. Now, you're always gonna be working outside of the other handle, then into the opposite handle. So see how I go outside of this handle and then inside to that outside of the next one, and then you pull through and slip stitch. You do that all the way around the circle for as long as it takes to close it in as you work it around. But notice how I insert my crochet hook from the outside of the handle I'm already started on to then the inside, to then I pull through and slip stitch together. So here I go again, out to in, and then fully slip stitch. See, there I go. And then again, insert on the outside of this handle I'm already working on. It's kind of hard to see, sorry, it's the black. Probably not the best color choice to work on in this tutorial. And then inside the other one, and there we go, slip stitch it together by pulling through. And this is gonna make that really fun, kind of thicker little rope around. You can also sew it together. You can also make one continuous handle. I just liked this for a decor element. I thought it was fun. It kind of helps cinch the handle and hold it into place as it sits, kind of makes it all put together. But again, this is just my pattern. You can get creative with it and make as long or short of a handle as you would like, as well as working the base of the body. If you want a taller bag, a wider bag, that's where you can get fun and creative with it. As long as you like the basic round to it, you can really do anything. This is all being done by working half double crochets the entire time, and now just attaching the handle together. And the next part will be pretty fun. I'm going to show you how to weave in. This next part, I'm going to show you how to make the tassel and attach it to the bag to make it that cinched look. And then once you are done, you then chain one and then fasten off, pull it through. And I then just weave this down the handle bag, this extra strand, and then I cut the rest off. So, to see how I do that, insert my crochet hook inside the handle, grab the strand, and pull it through. I just kind of tuck it in there. I'm going to show how you weave around the bag to get that cinched look, and then how to add your tassel. You're going to work the inside to the outside when you're weaving in. You're going to kind of choose where you would like to insert your strand. So I'm basically going to be here. Yeah, here we show you how to do this. So here's the inside of the bag and the outside of the bag, easier to see. So every time you're working the outside, you're just attaching it directly right next to it. When you work the inside, you're skipping about 3 to 4 stitches and then pulling it back out. So you can kind of see I'm like showing you the inside versus the outside, so it's kind of hard to see with the fabric. But when you attach, you want to make sure you put that's where you're going to add the tassel. So I about estimated, I don't know, I'm going to do it near the center for this bag. The other bag I did the side. We're going to get enough string that's like about twice the size of the bag. It's okay if it's better to have more than less, honestly, with this. And here I'm then going to walk you through how to insert it. I'm then going to grab my needle. Okay, then I tried to put light. I don't know if this is helping or making it worse, but I'm trying to do my best here to make it easier for you guys to see. And I'm inserting in the outside, and then I pull through enough to continue weaving through the rest of the bag. And then on the inside area of the bag, I'm then going to skip 3 to 4 stitches. And then once you make it back to where you started, make sure you're attaching it adjacent next to the chain or stitch that you first started. And then I kind of just, fixed the strands so that they're even. I just kind of pulled it through the bag just so I can line it up to make sure I have even strands. And then there we go. We have the fun cinched effect now ready to go. And it's okay to have a little bit longer. And now we're going to finish off by adding the tassel. And here's how you make a tassel. So grab your yarn and pull enough strands that you're going to put it on your palm and how you hold it, you're then going to wrap 20 times around your palm. And once you're done with that, I will show you what to do next. You're going to cut it off so that you have a bunch of strands dangling. So here I am, getting up to 20. Now we're going to just cut anywhere. And now here's the main part of your tassel. Set that aside. You're going to need 2 more strands. Continue this about, I don't know, 6 inches, give or take, a little bit more, a little bit less, enough to wrap it around and show you what I'm going to do. Okay, so now you line this up, and you're going to put the tassel in the center of one of the strands. So here I am kind of getting this all situated. Grab the strand and then lay all the tassels on top. Make sure they're as even as possible. Make sure it's in the center, and then you're now going to tie it, and you're going to double knot it. See, make sure it's in the center there, and then tie it again, double knot. Then you're going to fold it over. And now the fun part, you're going to figure out how big you want the top of the tassel to look, like the little blob. I kind of eyeball it here. That looked good. And then again, you're just going to tie it and double knot it. So there's the 1, and then double knot again. There's 2. And now the fun part, making sure the tassel ends are all even. You're then going to cut to make sure it looks good. So I'm just kind of fixing it to make sure like how it looks. There we go. Grab my scissors, and I'm cutting it so it's pretty much an even looking tassel. Get rid of the extra stuff, and now we get to attach it to the bag. You can glue it, knot it, whatever. I just kind of do this way. I take the strand and I cut so that there's enough when you open the bag up, it's not gonna interfere with it. So here I am just like checking how long the strand needs to be and like where the tassel should be. There we go. I'm kind of eyeballing it about there, and how long I want my tassel chain to be. It can be shorter or longer, however you choose. And then I'm now going to add the tassel by making a double knot around the 2 knots, I'm making a double knot around the strands. And I'm just going to continue double tying it onto the strands and then knotting it around. And that's kind of how I get it. If there's an easier way that you might know how to do it, go for it. But once you attach your tassel, you are all done. You have your fun, own and original Cinch and Slouch crochet handbag. A luxury look without the luxury cost. And I'm so excited to bring this pattern to life and to have you guys do it as well. Please check out my Etsy for more crochet patterns, and also my channel for other videos. Make sure you put that bell notification on for when I post next, because you're not going to miss my next project. That's all I'm going to say about that. It's something that you could definitely use this summer, especially if you travel a lot. With that being said, if you follow this tutorial or any of my tutorials, please feel free to share what you make on social media and keep up with me and see everything I make as well at Crafty with Jackie across Pinterest, TikTok, and Instagram. I really am looking forward to showing you what I make next, and I hope you all are having a great and amazing day. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.